Good morning, guys. I was trying to do the countdown, but who knows what's happening with that. Good morning. Let me see what's happening in the chat. 1 second here. As you guys know, this thing goes so slow, so it's really the StreamYard. But good morning. Hey, Darren. Good to see you. Hey, Carbon Q. Blessings to you both. I'm here. Have my tea ready. Whoops. Sorry for posting the live late this morning. Sometimes I'm really tardy working on it. working on it. But yeah, really should post it on Friday so you guys know ahead of time. Blessings 93 Stang, I see you there. I just spilt my tea. Hold on. Give you a second to get everyone to get in, to wake up. I know Saturdays are hard. You're one day off sometimes to really just laze around. Okay. Blessings to you, my Renaissance grandma. Blessings to you, Tammy. Hold on. Let me see, keep up with the chat. Let me catch up. This thing is really slow. So I apologize repeatedly in advance. It's just not responding very quickly. So I see you there. Blessings to you, Crafty Leo. I know the due date's coming soon. I'm waiting for the announcement. Crafty. Gotta sing your African dreaming song. Blessings Renaissance. Good to see you here. Good to see you, Tammy. Scroll. Okay, I think I got everybody so far. Hey, blessings to you, Liz B. I see you there. This is Can't Stop Walking But Love Mowing is driving, so he sees you all, but he cannot respond. Obviously, he's driving transport truck, so he's just listening. But he sees you guys saying hey. And Liz B. Journey, good to see you. Everyone's greeting each other. And Crafty says 6 more weeks to go. So that, I think it's March, right? Yeah. That will take you right into either early March. Yeah, early March. All right, you almost ready. Hey, blessings, D Macro. So today I'm doing I have a few things to discuss. Not really anything major. Some things I saw in the news we can talk about, but also open discussion. I will drop the link now, so it's on there. If you guys want to pop up. Are those in the bushes? Remember to thumbs up the video, so that we can get the algorithms going. I'll drop the link. And also, if you want to drop your channel link, just type #urban to drop your link throughout the chat. Don't do it at the same time because I think Nightbot will get all clogged up. But throughout the chat, if you want to drop your link. That's okay. And if somebody wants to connect with you, let them connect. So this week, what happened? Well, I did my physical on Thursday, and I remember why I hate going to the doctor. Because you make an appointment for a time. You get there 15 to 20 minutes early, but you don't get into the doctor till an hour and a half after the time that was booked. So, anyways, I haven't been to the doctor in person in 3 years, since 2020 when hey, blessings to you, JD forever. And if I miss anybody, I apologize because sometimes when I'm talking, I'm not watching, I'm just talking, and then if I say something, I lose my train of thought. So you might just see me wave with your name on the screen, but StreamYard is slow. Hey, blessings, Bougie. I haven't been in person, as you all know, what's been going on since 2020. So a lot of the appointments were over the phone, teleconference, all kind of different ways to meet, depending on how remote you are. But then they had, if you had to go somewhere, oh, I think my nail just broke. If you had to do something, urgently, then it was urgent care or the emergency room. And did my physical. It was fine. It was a bit weird though, because they're telling you have to wear a mask. You wear a mask, then you go in the waiting room, and half the people are not wearing a mask. So it's like whatever. Um, I get into the room, and the person who's like the person before the doctor does like your weight, your height, your blood pressure, and that kind of stuff. She wasn't wearing a mask, which is whatever. She's not really working so closely with a crowd. She's working like, one on one. Then the doctor came in with all the PPE that you could even think of. Like it's like it was weird. So anyways, the long and the short is that I don't know my results yet. I have to do my blood work and my urine, at the lab. They give you the requisition form, but the blood pressure was concerning, which, I know I have an issue, but the number was concerning. Like the other lady was like, this number, let me check it again. And I knew, I'm like, you can check it 5 times, it's gonna be the same. Because I do run higher than, but yeah. So I need to address that ASAP. So that's why, well, that's not why. I'm doing a cleanse in this, like right now, like Daniel kind of diet, no meat, no this, no that. And I wasn't told to do it. No, I wasn't, just me saying, okay, I'm going to do something because I know something's not feeling too right. And, oh yeah, let you be late. Exactly, Liz. And you have to let you be even 5 minutes late. Oh my goodness. Like it's such a double standard. They triple and double book. But anyways, the pressure is a bit high. I am doing something about it because we all know, if you don't know, blood pressure is called the silent killer because you will feel fine, but you're not fine. And I do have a machine here for those of you who have that issue. Buy a machine so that you can check it daily, even multiple times a day. So I've been checking it since I left Thursday, and it's problematic, even with medication. So something's not right. So I'm gonna go to the herbalist today and get something and get that dealt with. Hopefully his products can get that, really normalized, because the goal for me is to get off medication. And if it's not being controlled with medication, then something's wrong. Well, that's just my little quick story there. So for those of you who haven't been to the doctor, don't go to the doctor, go to the doctor. She did mention to me, um, she mentioned to me 50 is usually the age here that you start getting mammograms. And she's sending a lot of her patients well before the 50 mark. So she gave me a form to go get a mammogram. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not a doctor. Let me, this is not medical advice. Let me just put that banner up. I'm just sharing, I'm not sure about that for me. Because from what I understand, that's a high exposure of radiation. And that can actually cause you more problems than screening that is trying to. Hey, G Mama, Psalms 146. Oh, you're talking about your breakfast with bougie. And yeah. So she did the hey lashes, she did the exam, like, with your hands, like your doctor feels your breasts and there's no lumps. I feel my breasts. I don't have any history. So if you do have a history, then yes, check your stuff early. But mammograms, certain tests can give you a high level of exposure. And I asked if there's, hey TK, is there any other options of something less invasive? The long and short is I didn't get much information. So you have to really, as I keep saying, go there with information and you ask them questions, and then they start spilling some tea. Can I get an ultrasound? Can I get something else instead? Because if you have dense breasts, a mammogram is not going to show them very much. I remember my mom saying when she was first getting mammograms, and she used to hate them. I did not realize until it's literally sandwiches your boob. Like sandwiches it like this. Hey Erica, how can you sandwich someone's and those juicers that that's what they're doing to your, that can't be good. That's bruising, causing that's maybe causing other problems. So anyways, do what you want to do with your body, but just beware. They're screening people earlier. I'm rambling, but she did say that they're noticing a lot of younger women getting breast cancer, not the older women, the younger women. So I said to her, why? What's the causal? whatever I use. What's the cause and effect? Like, do you guys know what's causing the increase in young people? No. I said, so is anybody like researching that? Because I like to get answers. I don't want to hear whatever. I want answers. Um, and she doesn't know. So I'm like, is it the deodorant that we're wearing that has chemicals that's right in our armpit and near our lymph nodes? Is it this? Is it that? Like, things that I've removed from my hygiene regimen. Is it that? Is it the food? Is it the chemicals? Is it lack of vitamin D? Because I've been doing research. No, they don't know. So you don't know. You're testing people earlier, exposing us to radiation just because. I'm just like, anyways. So I'm not meant to be in the doctor's office. I don't belong there, but I'm there just, screening. But I'm telling you guys, my friend has cancer, as I told you guys. She's probably in her mid 30s. Yeah, mid 30s. This is her second fight with breast cancer. She did the first fight, had most of the breasts removed, reconstructive surgery, moving fat from A to B to C to D. She had her eggs harvested before the first treatment because it would prevent her from maybe having kids in the future. So maybe she can do IVF or do surrogacy or something. That option, thank God. I wish I knew that earlier, even without cancer, just to know, harvest your eggs as women. If you want to have kids later in life, you don't, Anyways, the point is, guys, they don't have a reason. I don't know if they're researching this. Okay, no problem, Carbon. Thank you. We have to just do our own research. The same thing how we guys in 2A say you're your own first responder. You're your own first, diagnostic specialist. You're your first, health practitioner, because only you know how you're feeling. And I have been feeling a little odd lately. And when I think I was mentioning it to Lashes yesterday after I went to the doctor, she goes, yeah, that's definitely blood pressure. Erica saying my G1N says it's the food, deodorant, and other. Right, but exactly. You know that, I know that, people know that. But then when you go to the doctor, oh, I don't know. What do you mean the hell you don't know? You're getting paid good. Anyways, let me not go there. I missed the chat. I missed a lot of the chat. But I think you guys are just greeting each other and talking up. So yeah, I dropped the link. I'll drop it again. That was what happened. So, I'm just thinking about, do I want to get screened with a mammogram at this stage? I'm not sure. And it's time for, over here they used to have screening for cervical cancer, so you have to do a pap. They had it yearly. Now it's every other year unless you have some kind of history. So yeah, there's other things that you screen for. It's hard. It's just keep up to date with your screenings, guys. Hopefully you have, you're in a different country. I'm in Canada. I have healthcare. You think you guys have healthcare now? I'm not sure how it works, to be honest, but keep up to date with your screenings, because sometimes you could feel fine and there's something else going on. But don't walk in fear either. But just, just check and understand the risks associated with the screening tests that they're giving you. Because I'm not running to go check for something. You have to decide for yourself how much risk you're willing to take. And only you can decide that for yourself. Only I can decide that for myself. Because the earlier they catch something, is it going to change? Is it going to change the treatment options that are given to me? In some sicknesses, yes. In some sicknesses, no. So you need to do your own research to figure that out, guys, because nobody can answer that for you. And some people may say to some people, oh, why didn't you get treatment? Some people don't want to get treatment. If that's their time to go, they'll rather go happily than go with all the treatment and get sicker and weaker. And like, we have to respect other people's decisions. But yeah, I stopped using antiperspirant a long time ago. I do use it occasionally. Like if I'm going to a summer wedding and I'm going to be in a hot environment, I may put on something that I shouldn't put on. But in general, I wear natural deodorant. I don't smell. I have smelt recently. Oh, that's too much, because I'm detoxing. I'm doing a cleanse. So stuff is coming out of my body. So you're going to sweat it out. You're going to whatever. So, the deodorant's not going to stop you from sweating. So if you're smelling an odor, it's because you're detoxing. That's normal. Let's think about it. You're clogging up your armpits because you don't want to sweat, you don't want to stink, because it's not socially acceptable. But you're preventing your God given cleansing system from working efficiently. So, where is that stuff going to go? Where is that stuff going to go if it can't sweat out your glands? That was made to sweat out stuff. That's why sometimes they know this stuff. This is not. I'm not a doctor. This is just so you're just gonna go with your lymph nodes. Hello, that's the whole lymphatic system, the drainage system. You're gonna clog the pipe and say, "Oh, we're having an increase in X, Y, and Z." Anyways, the doctor's gonna say that because they need the money for the treatment. Right? They get paid, and regardless of your healthcare structure, there's some form of payment or exchange. And I am aware that blood pressure can cause, other things, kidney, heart and stroke, other issues. It affects other issues. Aneurysm, you have to be careful. You don't play around with that. Let me see what JD's saying. Blood pressure medicine is very scary. Do you know that they have a recall on some of the medication now, anyways, too, for blood pressure? It's just another sidebar. They had to recall some of it. You have to see what makes your heart overactive and take away that stress. Mine was high for a full year. I stopped yelling and did. Yeah, I need to think. I'm doing breathing. I think I don't have stress. I have to definitely exercise more because obviously my body needs more exercise than maybe somebody else. I don't smoke, I don't drink. I go to bed at a decent time because my sleep is very important to me because I need my body's different. Some of y'all can go all night. I can't. But yeah, Carbon saying that's how they keep whoops, it froze up there. That's how they keep running tests on you to get more money from your insurance, try new drugs on you. Exactly. Um, sorry, it's just frozen, but that's why they say they don't know. That's what I'm telling you. And I read up on my own that it's probably a kidney issue, not like it's an issue, but maybe your kidneys need flushing out, which is affecting and it's my diastolic, that's the bottom number, that's my relaxed number, that is excessive. The top number is not too bad. So it's like, how am I sitting down relaxed? I took it this morning before I came on my live. How did I just wake up and the number's already so elevated? I don't have any stress. I slept very well. So there's a organ, something functioning improperly. And I'm the one who's digging into it because I'm going there asking for how can you help me? What can I do? Oh, well, more drugs. More drugs. So I'm going to be going to this herbalist after. There's been high recommendations and I'm going to figure it out. The levels went down significantly. They asked me what I did. I stopped stressing, overreacting. Well, I've done that already. I don't overreact anymore. I'm much more chill than I used to be. I lost a sibling and she told me, hey, Gina, don't hold nothing in. And I don't. As you guys can fully see, I'll say whatever. I don't care who's mad about it. I'll say whatever. But it'll level off soon. I'll learn to be more silent about it. Do you use activated charcoal during your detox? I do have it. I bought the tablets as a result of Renaissance mentioning it. So I do have it. I haven't taken it because I don't think I need it. I'm doing a no meat, a lot of heavy, greens and plant-based. As you guys know, I'm juicing left and right. So I'm going to make some more juice today. But yeah, you're right. I need a detox. That's probably why my kidney needs a flush or liver flush. Just a good old fashioned flush. So I'm going to go to the naturopath and take that. But the charcoal did work when I was having digestion issues. It did work. So I do support charcoal. But again, talk to your doctor, your naturopath, whomever, and make sure you're taking the right stuff in the right time. I bought it for SHTF because they said that's good for poisonings. Ended up using it, and it definitely helped with whatever was poisoning. D Macro saying our armpits are a human ventilation system, literally. Yep, drainage. When it's blocked, the air is going to flow somewhere else. Well, the sweat and the water. Yep. I'm going to reduce. Yep. I changed my deodorant. Yes, you have to make sure, Okay, I have this. My cell phone doesn't track, but my cell phone tracks when it tracks my steps. You see, that's the one thing I don't like. I don't like being monitored. But I know people have their Fitbit and stuff. I don't like being monitored. I kind of stay away from that stuff. I'm what you call it, um, conspiracy theorist. But yeah, it helps with your data. And I do know that they said most of us don't breathe enough, deep inhale deeply enough. Anyways, that's enough about that with that. But you know how that goes. But think about things because you may not be at the age to be getting mammograms or stuff, and maybe you have a family history where it would be wise to take a screening test. But there must be different types of screening that are not so painful, uncomfortable, and damaging. I don't know. I didn't ask all that because it's just like it was the end of the day. I was kind of fatigued. I did have some questions to ask. I asked about my eczema, my flare up. But now when I think about it, the flare up is probably my kidney is flushing out, but something is it's what you call it stagnant because your kidney may need to flush to get your blood clean. So now that I've cleaned up my diet since September, it's improved, but I do need to do an organ flush, like clean out the liver, the gallbladder, the kidney. That will in turn clean my blood and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm telling you, the only pipeline they have for us is pills, pills, and more pills, and another pill, and two more pills, and a pill to work against the other pill. Don't do it, guys. I'm not. I've seen my parents how much pills they had to take. A whole Ziploc bag full of pills. I'm not going down that road. Yeah, my number's high at home. I'm home right now, and my number was high. My bottom number was high. It's going down, but the number is high. That's what I'm saying to you guys. I've been dealing with this for a couple of years. I take my medication. I'm trying to come off of medication. I changed my diet. I'm doing beet powder, beet this. I'm doing you know, all kind of food stuff, natural stuff. The number's not budging. It's not budging. And all they're gonna do is look at oops, I'm tapping, making the noise. All they're gonna do is now add more medication because really and truly the number's dangerous. Like that number is not, you don't sit around with that kind of number. Either you go into the hospital or they give you something because that could cause a stroke or any kind of thing. So this ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. And I know my number. Some of you guys don't even know your numbers because you're not checking. If you have anybody in your family that has a problem, I'm gonna have my ginger shot now. I'm doing everything on camera because I don't, I gotta make sure I have it in my body early. And ginger helps with circulation. Turmeric in there, pineapple, black pepper. I did it live. Um, get the machine. It's not expensive to buy a blood pressure machine. They're at Costco. I think at one point they're $40. Sometimes they're 50. Sometimes they're $60. It's worth it. Even if you don't have that issue, check your numbers more regularly. Don't wait until you go get your physical. That's a little bit too infrequent. They have machines at the pharmacy that everybody and their grandmama uses. I don't like using those machines because everybody and their grandmama uses it. So I have my own at home. Yep, holistic. So I'm going to be going. So I'll be continuing to share my story. My yeah, Gina's driving, but yeah, she sees y'all. But she's exactly keep your eyes on the road. We don't want no accidents from any of you or Darren. But thanks for tapping in. But I'm going to share with you guys, as I'm going through this process, but I need to get the number down. I know Lashes did the whole thing with the lifestyle center. That's why I came off of meat. I'm trying to change certain things, give my body a break. I'm not against meat, but sometimes you need to listen to your body, and your body's telling you, is crying out for help, and you need to listen. And I'm listening because something's just not quite right, and it's definitely the diastolic number. That's it for that. But yeah, just keep considering that. Even though I don't talk about it every week, just make sure blessings to you, Black Guns and Garden. Just make sure you're checking your numbers, guys. I know some of us have been busy. It's been a rough 3 years. Sometimes you're just busy going, going, going. Get your physical done, regardless of, you believe in the healthcare system or not. Get your physical, get your numbers checked, get your blood work checked, because sometimes you could feel fine and great and you don't know. If you have a family history of things, get it checked out. Um, just make sure you're going regularly. Don't be one of those people that's just working, working, working. If you have any slight symptoms, put them in a notebook. I have a notebook and I talk to her about them because I will forget sometimes. And then she'll be like, oh, it could be this, it could be that. And she starts discussing more in depth with me. But if you don't bring it up, they're not going to just next, click next. And I'm having sorrel ginger tea, also supposed to help with, you know, blood pressure. I'm doing intermittent fasting. I haven't eaten yet because it's supposed to, I'm telling you, I'm doing everything. So I don't know if this is just to teach me so I can share it with you guys, but something's just not working. If you say hi to me and I don't respond, it's because I'm okay. That's it. So that's it for that. Those commercials, let's Erica, exactly. Those commercials could cause this, that. It's a whole list. How about just kill me? Kill me now. Because that's what you're doing. Yeah. So we need to find, solutions. And if there's something that you guys learn, just share it with the community, because sometimes your story will help people. I did purchase some stuff to start making my own capsules. So I've seen people do that. I made my own 100 over 74. Oh, that I've never seen that number in my life. Mine's high. Mine's high. The bottom number's over 90 and the top number was over 150. It's high. It's done high. I know it's high. They know it's high. The internet knows it's high. When they search for numbers that are high, my number's high. My number's high, high, high. That's what I'm saying to you guys. People with my number should be in the hospital. They would put you in the hospital. So I'm taking my time this weekend and I'm going to the guy today because it doesn't make any sense. You would think with my number that I'm eating fast food I don't eat. Doesn't make sense. I don't eat poorly. I don't eat out. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm a bit chunky, but I'm not overly. I'm very active. I shovel. I do I'm always moving around. Yeah, I work at my desk, which is not the best, but I'm not as bad as other people, and they can do their same bad behavior, and their numbers are fine. So I don't know what it is. It's stress. I don't really have any stress. I work and they get on my nerves and I just cuss them out loud to get it off my chest and say, you're Ross, whatever I say. And I get it off my chest and move on. I don't hold it. So you're 115 over 76. I wish that was mine. 115 and 130 over 90. The 90 is a bit high. I think they want you 75, but even that's better than my number. That's what I'm trying to say to you. My number's bad. Ask them to do a stress test on your heart. They will make you exercise with. I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do a sleep. Someone said to do a sleep test to see if I'm actually getting proper sleep, because that could be affecting it. Because at this point, I'm not running to go get no more pills. They need to do some more in-depth research. So I'm going back on the 28th to do some other stuff, tests, and probably do the lab work. And she needs to see some improvement by then. But I'm going to ask her for the stress test and something else. Blessings to you, Tony Jackson. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry I didn't see you. So just be patient with me. I'm not catching every comment, and this thing keeps jumping sometimes. But that's So if anyone else has any, but thanks for that suggestion. I will check that out. But I'm not sitting here eating all kind of foolery. I'm not doing none of that stuff. It's just something's not moving, and I don't know what else to do. I'm drinking pepper, like I do cayenne pepper tinctures. I'm juicing like nonstop. I'm not, I need to exercise, but without the exercise, the number should not be as high as it is. It shouldn't. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I have to work so hard to get minimal results, which is just really irritating. Um, I have a good heart. Haha. Oh, okay. You're an athlete. I don't know. But start researching and start being aware of what type of foods react to your body during the digestive stage. And I am working on my digestive flora. Oh my god, I can't get it out. Hey, she blessings. She said so. I'm working on that. I'm working on it. So hopefully you guys check your numbers. Some of y'all here already know your numbers. Check your numbers. Did you check your cholesterol? It's gonna be checked, but my cholesterol is always actually the only thing about my cholesterol is they've always told me my good cholesterol needs to be bumped up. That's why I take so much fish oil, so much other stuff. I need to increase my good cholesterol. I have no problem with bad cholesterol. They've always said, but doesn't mean that that's the case right now, but that's always been what they've said, my good cholesterol. But I've been taking my fish and my this and my that and my all kind of stuff, even plant-based stuff. Okay. That's the rest of my shot. So, but I will. Yeah, they're gonna do my blood work and my urine, and then they'll check, your cholesterol, your sugar, your this, your that, all the stuff. They're gonna check vitamin D, all of that. She's gonna check. The commercials be like, it will relieve. Whoops, where did it go? Your dry eye. Side effects include itching, burning, respiratory failure, and gas with oily discharge. My cholesterol was too high as well. Now it's good. Okay. I'm telling you. So thanks for the tips. I always have to rewatch the chat after and then just take the notes from the chat because you guys dropped some nice information. Okay, so that's apples and grapefruits. Yeah, grapefruits work as very well. It depends if you're not on any medication. Yes, if you're on medication, grapefruit is notorious for interacting with medication. So be careful, check with your doctor. Funny enough, my family member was on medication for years. And one day I went to go pick up the medication for them. And that's when we saw the pharmacist put a note, do not eat grapefruit with this medication. This is after 10 years of taking this medication. That's when you tell us not to have it with grapefruit. Anyways, and that person loved grapefruit. So I don't know if that was a problem, but yeah. Um Badass. Yeah, exactly. High blood pressure too long can affect your kidneys. Exactly. Some of that natural herbal stuff is or isn't good either. I'm not sure if you mean it. Oh, isn't. Okay, I see it down there. Is it exactly? You have to get the proper advice. You can't be going taking stuff willy-nilly. So don't go taking stuff willy-nilly. Get your medical advice. But when you get the advice, you ask them questions because depending on how you frame your questions, they'll give you more detailed information and adjust the plan to suit your body. That they say that to me, it evens out. I have a little low good cholesterol, but my bad cholesterol is good, so it evens it out. What we call homeostasis. Okay, good. Hey, broke farmer, I see you there. Blessings to you. But yeah, check it out. But yeah, and exactly. 93 saying is right. You can't be trying all this natural. Like sometimes it causes more problems and it doesn't work. But if you're eating properly, that should be giving you some kind of benefit. Mm. I like the chocolate. It has a nice pineapple taste. So take it to a day. Um, yeah. But let's not go too much on that. But check your numbers, guys. Check your numbers and find out what's going on to make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do. Grapefruit will make slow release meds break down too quickly. And then instead of it working for 10 hours, it's gone through your system. So what else let's talk about? Well, it's spring garden time. Well, for some of us. So check out people's channels. I'm doing the wig grow off WIG, and I'll be doing the herb challenge with Planters channel starting February the 1st, which is pretty much a week and a couple of days away. Yeah, a week and a couple of days. So we'll be doing at least 5 herbs. Hold on. Yeah, ask why. We don't ask why. Let me see. Darren saying lower sodium and raise potassium levels. Yeah, I don't have sodium. I cut that out years ago because my parents they had um so it's not. I do have peanut butter and I do have the one that's not salted and unsweetened from time to time, not all the time. And I do take potassium as a the supplements, and I eat potassium foods. Maybe I need to eat more. Maybe my body's not absorbing it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to start delving deeper. But you need to ask them why. Um. Okay. So yeah, spring gardening season. So if you're not already involved, there's a WIG grow off going from it's from December till March. So you still got time to jump in because if you plant some seeds right now up until maybe early February, you can still get a good harvest from March. And it doesn't matter if you win or not. The whole point is to push yourself. I'm here talking, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I really don't care if I win. I'm just happy to grow some food indoors and to be able to have my salads now 12 months a year. So I'm winning because I'm gaining. So it doesn't matter who actually wins. Even though we're out here trash talking, um be trash talking. Hey, did I see? Hey, triple threat. Blessings to you. So just grow something indoors, guys. This contest is just to kind of push us out of our comfort zone. And if it wasn't happening, I probably would just be still planting my spring outdoor garden and getting around to growing indoors. It kind of pushed me to accelerate that. So I now have went from 0 hydroponics to 1 to 2 to now 3. I'm going to have one for the herbs, I have one for the wig, and I have another one that's still sitting there that I'm now going to plant because Renaissance did tell me last week that just to cover the holes and it won't be grimy. Sorry, I missed somebody. Somebody said something about that's what I'm drinking right now. Hibiscus tea, well, sorrow, Jamaican sorrow with ginger. Trust me, guys, you're preaching to the choir and the choir director. I did all of that, and I think I have to drink it by the pound because or the gallons because I'm not getting the results. I'm not. Diabetics have to be careful with exactly. Talk to your doctor because everybody has a pre-existing conditions. Oh, you like the piano? Yeah, it's fake. It's a virtual background. But yeah, it's not working. I'm telling you guys the truth. It's not. I do all that. I drink sorrow all year round. I make sorrow. It's not working. I love it same way, but it's not working for me. And it could be something different, something very simple. Maybe I need to do a cleanse every 3 months with some bitters to get my. But I need to work on it. Do you recommend a good beginner setup? My recommendation is buy a on Amazon, buy any kit that's available. Doesn't have to be the Arrow brand. It could be any brand that has the kit with at least 12 pods, has the baskets to hold and the sponges, and it has the covers for them while they're germinating. And I prefer the ones that have the covers when you're not using the hole. Some of them don't come with that, so you have to be using your own foil concoction and just grow something. Don't think you're going to be growing. I know there's some people who are experts and they grow indoors, but I'm not expecting to grow eggplant and some big plants in that little unit. I'm growing lettuces, endive. I have a couple of kales in there, and I did some spinach, which did not germinate. So I put them in the paper towel Ziploc bag method, and I'm going to see if they germinate and then pop them back into the hydroponics. And if you want something bigger, like they have the 5-gallon buckets kits to grow bigger plants. Obviously, they need more root space. Go right ahead. But if you want to grow lettuce and spinach and kale and endive, any kit will do you good. And the ones that I have a pump in it, which is good to keep the water oxygenated. Oxygenated. Some of those words are like too many syllables. Oxygenated. And there you go. I just went on Google, on Amazon, bought whatever was on sale. It had a coupon attached to it. I opened it up, did it, and I actually liked the one that I happened to buy. Just Smart. I did a I did a the unboxing video is going to be done. It should have been done yesterday. It's probably going to be done in a couple of days, but my wig entry video shows it. But the unboxing of the one that I bought will be out this week. The second one that I just bought, the video should be out next week. So give me a bit of time. I'm trying to edit them and make them look pretty interesting, but I will show the unboxing. The review of those hydroponics will not be done until I see the plants actually growing and how they did. I'm not going to give you a review on germination. That could be the seeds. It doesn't mean it's the unit. But everything did germinate except the spinach. And Mike's Chaotic told me he has not had luck with his spinach in any unit. He has to always put them in paper towel and germinate them and then put them in the hydroponics. So that was a good tip that he gave me. Too high of potassium can stop your heart. Yes. You have to go to your doctor, guys. Go to your doctor. They can give you some information. At least they can give you information. Let me see here. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, most peanut butters contain sodium and sugar. Somebody bought a peanut butter the other day and gave it to my dad. And it said something about peanut butter and flax, had a lovely label, looking all healthy. When I turned it over and read the ingredients, there was icing sugar, salt, and something else in there. I don't care how much flax they add, and it was flax blend with palm oil and some other stuff. That's the crappiest peanut butter known to man. So don't be buying them foolery. Sugar, there's so much sugar in peanut butter, it's not even funny. And peanuts are naturally sweet. So try to come off of them sweetened stuff. Get the one that's unsweetened and unsalted. And if you want a bit of salt, you can sprinkle a bit on your toast, like a sea salt, just a little sprinkle to add some more flavor, but you don't need to have it ready made for you. Hey, planter garden. So I'm going to, give me a second. I'm going to have to sneeze. So let me just come off for one quick second. Thank you. Whew. I don't know if it's allergy. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to do another spring cleaning earlier because the dust be killing me over here. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Yeah, so I have two videos, JD, but I'm doing the unboxing soon. The review will be coming, but I can say, verbally, I do like the Just Smart. The other one I haven't used yet. It's February 1st. We have to do our planting with the herb garden, so I haven't used it yet. But I don't like some of the features on it already because it doesn't come with covers to cover the holes when they're not in use, and that's going to give you algae. So get your gardens going. For those of you who haven't planted a thing in your entire life, I think, and you maybe don't have a backyard, I think you should get a hydroponics. Find something on sale online and just, it's going to pay for itself because I hear lettuce is going for $8 a pop, 10, I don't know what it's going for in your city, but it'll pay for itself. And you don't have to use the fertilizer that it comes with. If you watch other people who are deep into this hydroponics, you can find a natural organic, substitute if that's a bother to you, but it'll pay for itself. Lettuce, I like to have salad every day, so bite the bullet, get a yeah, that's exactly. Some of them don't. So if you need covers to cover the extra holes, otherwise the algae is going to be a problem. Extra sponges, stakes, yeah. And lighting that works excellent. So I don't care what you guys, I don't care. I don't mean to be crass, but get whatever you can afford, get whatever's on sale, and start growing some basic stuff. You are going to love it. I can assure you. If you like to eat salads, you will love it. And as you guys heard, my blood pressure is all over the place. So I'm going to have to be eating double the amount that I was eating already because obviously I need to get things under control. But JD saying I spent a lot of money on organic food, so now I want to grow and see if I can do it myself. My family of 3, and we spend $1,000 a month on groceries. Well, if you can cut out the lettuce, the endives, the kale, you can grow kale indoors. I see Mike's got growing peppers. You can grow the sweet ones. He's growing tomatoes. I haven't seen anybody doing cucumber per se, but I'm sure you can do cucumbers if you really, into that. Some people I see over here have a grow tent in their garage, and they're growing all kind of stuff, even radishes. So you can take this as far as you want to take it. There's people doing some extraordinary things indoors in a cold climate, oxygenated. That's a big, I know, oxygenated. Jeez. Sorry, I'm behind in the chat. Do whatever you need to do to grow food. If organic is important to you, like it is for most of us, then grow your own food. And it's not even just about um organic or non-organic. And um I always mention this, but it's not even just about that. It's just about the recalls and things that are on your food, number one. And I was sent a video this week, which is not the first time I've seen the video. So I don't really want to talk about it because certain topics are on this platform are dangerous, or can get you strikes and stuff. But um, let me choose my words. During the last 3 years, there were several brands of solutions that were offered on the market, of products, I'll say, that were offered on the market. And one brand that's being made here was a plant-based product. So a lot of us were happy, myself included, because you can I thought it was going to be derived from plants. So I thought, like, derived, like most things in pharmaceuticals are derived from plants. The video that I got, which I've gotten before, I've seen before, it's about a year old. Um, I sent it to Lashes, but I can always, I can probably post it on Instagram where it's not linked to this channel on this platform. They're actually researching, and maybe already researched, implanting things into the greens. So it's not derived from the plants, it's actually being um attached to the plants. I'll say that. So trying to be vague, but give you enough that you can, if you look on, do a search for certain wording, it might help you pop up this video. And lettuce was a number one thing. So they were saying that people who are against certain things or certain practices or products, and it will inadvertently be taking it with your meals, because you're not going to know that it's there. Let me know if you understand what I just said. If anyone understands what I just said, can you let me know that you kind of got the message? I'm scrolling down to the bottom. If it makes sense what I just said, even though I'm trying to be vague but clear enough that you kind of get what I'm saying. If you get what I'm saying, just put a thumb up or a number one in the chat. Okay, you understand. Okay, that's all I got to say. As long as you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, because you're going to be eating the product. Okay, good, you get it. Because I don't, you have to be very, you got to go around and around the bend and around the block, down the alley. You can't be very clear because it's a problem. So you can get it, you can take the information, and you can start searching. It's not hard to find that clip. It's about a 4-minute clip, but made a year ago. So you don't know if it was made a year ago, that was already released way after the advancements have been made. So you can probably put a timeline on certain things. So grow your own lettuce, grow your own spinach, grow your spinach and lettuce are seem to be the two that were named the most. I guess those kind of crops are easy to grow and easy to use for research purposes. I don't know. So those two are on the top of the list. So take with that information what you will. and figure it out. But I'm gonna go back up the check. I see you guys talking about hydroponics. I see somebody talking about pests. Let me give the name of a doctor that he's a holistic doctor. He's good. I started eating what he recommended on the stronger side. Okay, my email's on my about page. Give me a second. I'll put it on the screen here if I can find it again. And I'm on Instagram, urban.gardening.chronicles. You can I think it's dropping in the chat frequently with Nightbot, my Instagram. Just send me a message there. Someone did cucumbers but realized that the food they were using was good for leafy plants, not vegetables. So you're going to have to find the right food to feed the vegetables. Exactly. I'm going to pee all around my... Yeah, okay, you're talking about prevention. Deer repellent, yeah. But you got a dog anyways, 93%. You got a dog, so I'm sure that dog ate me. Yeah. You got to plant extra, guys. You got to plant for stealing neighbors. You got to plant for pests. You got to plant for animals. You got to plant for loss, disease, and rotting. You got to plant for sharing with people. You got to... These gardening streets, you guys don't know. You know the damn raccoon. Now let me go to the raccoon. I'm not reading the chat, guys. I'm going to have to, like I always do, come back and read it after. I'm missing all the jokes and some of the banter. So let me go to the bottom and just catch right back up. Grow your own food. A lot of us are talking about it. We've been talking about it. I've only been on this platform creating content, I don't know, a year and a bit. I've been hearing this since I was a child from the elders. What's coming down the pike. Like, wake up, smell the Ovaltine, smell the coffee, smell the sorrel ginger tea. We can't keep telling you guys. Do what you need to do. It's not that expensive. If you're still working and can get a side hustle, buy a hydroponics and grow some at least leafy greens. Once you start, you're going to buy a couple of more. I can assure you. My lettuce most likely will be grown indoors from now on, 12 months a year. There is no need for me to put it outside. There's no need for me to fight against aphids and whatever else is out there. Now, sidebar. Gnats. That's why I went to hydroponics, because these damn gnats be getting under my skin. I thought I got rid of the gnats. I see one here and there. I do have ginger in a pot. I sprayed it and I keep spraying it. I don't see any gnats in there, but I can't grow ginger hydroponically, so there's nothing more I can really do. So the ginger is there. I have some house plants that have those clay pebbles on top and perlite, so they're okay. But there's one plant, my pineapple plant, that's in a nursery pot in the ceramic pot. And when I lifted the nursery pot up to see if it needed water, about 4 gnats came out. They look like big, like fruit flies flying out. So that plant is covered with rocks on top, so they can't do nothing on top. They are breeding through the drainage holes. So when you think you've gotten rid of these gnats, they just gone to sleep, or they're hiding from you guys. Let me just tell you. So I had to water the plant from the bottom, as I always do. They always tell you water from the bottom. Yeah, you can water from the bottom from here to kingdom come. The gnats going to be in the bottom too. And when the plant dries out, they're just living their best life. Hey, Queen Shar. So I had to water it and put hydrogen peroxide in there. Oh, you found me? Okay, thanks, JD. I found me on Instagram and pass on that there. It's probably easier than emailing me. And I had to put hydrogen peroxide, and I even put neem oil. And I sprayed the bottom with neem oil I don't know what, I just did all kind of spraying. And I don't see them there, but trust and believe, the bugs are there. And I purchased a bag of soil that's labeled indoor soil for indoor use. I don't care what the bag says. It has bugs and eggs in there. If you do not want bugs in your house, you're going to have to do all these mechanisms that they tell you about, boiling and burning and barbecuing the soil and pouring hot water on the soil outside and all the stuff that you have to do. Are you going to kill the nutrients? Yes, you are. You're going to kill the good, the bad, and the ugly. You're going to kill everything. It's going to be sterile. But if you're going to bring in regular soil, even from the bag from the store, never been used, so they say indoor only soil, there's bugs in them. And if you don't want bugs in your house, you're going to have to take drastic measures and then put the nutrients back into the soil. That's the long and the there's no shortcut. There's no magic product. We've talked a few weeks ago. G Mama gave us some tips on what to spray and orange oil and X, Y, and Z and all. That's all great. It all works. But when you're in your house and have to be fighting these bugs, it makes gardening unenjoyable. It makes you're not gonna want to do it. Dirt and soil belong outside. That's the long and short of it. It belongs outside. I just threw out two pots outside. The oregano plant died. It's outside because I think there's gnats in there. I thought the grow bag would be better because airflow and whatever. I put hot. It's outside. I'll have to put hot water on it, kill everything in there before I bring it back in. That's it. There's no other way. There's no other way. If you have an outdoor space, you have a solarium or something that you can kind of do that, and you can have a barrier between your house and the plants and the that zapper thing to zap the gnats and the this and the that. Count how much money you're spending to get rid of these gnats in your house. You're buying zappers, you're buying sprays, you're buying oils, you're making clove, and I had to boil clove and bay leaf and this and that. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm sorry, you may not agree. It's not worth it. I do not want to wake up in the morning, brushing my teeth, and I'm flashing gnats. It don't make no sense. It's not worth it. I saw some lettuce since December 26th, and I just don't see anything. Oh, I think I'm missing something. It's not worth it. If you can grow outdoors, then that's where the plants belong. Soil belongs outdoors. So just letting you know straight up, don't start something and you're gonna get upset. Oh, you told me to plant food and now my house is full of bugs. I told you to do hydroponics. That's what I said, hydroponics in the house. When you become more comfortable and more experienced and you want to bring soil in your house, then there'll be other tips provided to you. But don't just be bringing no dirt. I don't care what this says, indoor only. It's not even coconut choir or core, whatever they call it, the thing. If you're not careful, they'll move into the coconut. They moved into my lettuce debacle that I did. I saw the gnat going over there trying to make a house in the coconut. They don't care. They didn't come from there. And honestly, they could have came from there, They're in the store, in the cooler. Who knows? It could have been in there and they came to my house and started growing. Don't know. But grow something. Okay, next topic is obese Denise, the raccoon problem. Obese Denise is a hoe. She is a garden hoe. I don't care. If you're offended, she is a hoe. She's got to go. The hoe has got to go. She's noisy. She's loud. She's brawling. She ain't got no class. She's a problem. She just bringing her accoutrements over here and her mans them and her pick me them like she has a daycare service over here. The hoe has got to go. And she be coming to move in. And I talked to my neighbor last night, my tenant, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm hearing all this noise." I go, "Yeah," like I was like reenacting. She goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I go, "Because it's the damn raccoon. That's why. The one I've been fighting for 6 months. I told you." She's like, "That's what it sounds like." Yes, that's what she's a hoe. She's got to go. She's too loud. She's brawling. She's this, she's that. And I told her, because my tenant's downstairs, I go, "In your bedroom window that's under my deck, shine a light there, like when you're going to work in the morning at 5 a.m. and you tell me if you see any action down there." So, I'm sorry, missing the chat. So I'm assuming I can do plants. I am baby beginner planter. Just bought my first hydroponic garden. Yes, do plants. Lettuce, spinach, them kind of things. That's good. Anything bigger, yes, you can do it, but it depends on how you're doing it. So I don't want to advise and just give general advice. But other people here are experienced. They're talking to you right now. Hey, Ruth in Georgia, grow something. Exactly, grow something. But I'm missing the chat. So the hoe's got to go. So I've been hearing her. I've been ignoring her for the last week because my blood pressure. I'm like, I'm not gonna get stressed out over this raccoon. Maybe she's the one who's giving me high blood pressure. So, and my family's like, okay, let's get a fence up. Let's do something up to get her to block the deck so she can't go under it. And when I got the pricing for fencing, I'm like, yo, man, this is expensive. This is a lot of money to preventing this hoe from coming over here. Why are these hoes so damn expensive? Anyways, I said, okay, I'm gonna find some skids. They're like, oh, skids are gonna look ghetto. I don't care how the damn skids look. I can make it look nice. You can paint it, make it match the deck, and make it look like, a nice thing. Right now, it does not look nice, but I can make it look nice when it's warmer. So I have a skid in my garage, and we found two nice looking skids in an industrial area. They were too big to fit both in my car, and I had to fit it on an angle because the width was too wide. So I went and got one. We put it up. I went with again and got the second one. It's in my car right now. I came back too late at night. I didn't want to do it at night, so I'm gonna get them to help me take it out now and put it in the back. So I blocked the under the deck with the skid. I have firewood that's in the way, so it's kind of like I couldn't put the other skid there, but I put a box there, a piece of wood, a barrier, and I put the small half skid on the side to block the other opening. I think she couldn't get in last night, and I don't know if she was in there when I put the blockade up, because if she was in there sleeping, because they come out at night, the hose come out at night. I think she wasn't there, so I'm gonna see and check it out. And once it gets maybe Monday or Tuesday, I'm gonna get help moving the firewood over to not be in the way so I can fit all three skids flush and block that area and kind of clip it to the deck. And then this is a long story, but yes, a lot of work to keep this hole from coming over here. And then I'm going to get spikes and put spikes around the roof of the shed in certain areas and get some spikes down because she needs to stop coming and climbing and just being in the area. Um, oh, so sorry, turmeric. Oh, so Triple found turmeric in Whole Foods in. Yeah, I told you Atlanta got the stuff because I see Raina's Kitchen showing off all the exotic food there. I plan to buy more today. Da, 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 da. Yeah, exactly. They have the Asian stores in Atlanta got it. Um, because I know I saw that her channel posting it. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm scrolling down. I'm gonna have to read that after. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Those gnats. Oh my god. Anyway, so I got rid of the hoe. I think she's not gonna come back, but I'm gonna put some pepper down, some spikes down. I'm gonna put some barricades down, and she's not coming back. Then the squirrel came on my veranda and chewed down my lettuce. Not my lettuce, a lie. My spinach. I had giant noble spinach. It was doing very well in January. It's been out all year long, covered with a fleece. The cabbage, because it's a head, it got waterlogged. But the leafy stuff, like the Brussels sprouts, the collard greens, and the spinach, are still there doing fine. I said, I'm going to make a juice. Let me use my own homegrown spinach. I go out there to find a few leaves. I found some chew marks and nothing, and a hole dug up. And the hole means a damn squirrel. And my railing is black and dirty. It's supposed to be white with dirt. So a new hoe is coming into town. I guess they figure that it's winter time and food is scarce in these streets, and they can't find their damn nuts that they buried. So they come over here with their foolery and mash up my stuff. My blood pressure. I'm gonna keep myself down. I'm gonna calm down. Calm down. Calm down. I'm calm. I'm good. So they're still destructive. So if you think that they're like, whatever they're doing, they have food for the winter, they're still coming. If I didn't have my beds at the back covered with chicken wire and a frame, they would have been eating up all that too. So these squirrels don't take no break. So I'm going to get some mesh or some kind of cage for the front, and everything that I'm growing this year, if at all possible, will be covered up. Hey, Duval, it's going to be covered up. We work too hard to grow food to have to be fighting these animals that don't even appreciate the food. They take a bite and throw it away. And then they take a bite of another one and throw it away. So, no, we're not doing that over here this year. I'm covering everything as much as possible. And if need be, the pellet gun is on back order. They're gonna feel some pow pow and pew pews over here. And I'm just gonna be careful not to let the neighbors see me doing it, because they ain't coming over here this year. I placed an order. I'm not gonna say for what, because I'm keeping that under lock. I said to myself, Urban, Of course, I use my real name, not Urban. Urban. Last year, I bit off more than I could chew with the gardening. I planted everything, every Tom, Dick, and Harry was planted. Every pot that could plant a pot was planted. Even nursery pots that were 1 gallon that were too small for the plant, I planted in there and it didn't work out. And the planter was right because the plant pot was too small. I planted in every crevice, corner. I have all kind of stuff planted. And I said, I need to streamline this year. I forgot my own advice because obviously it wasn't important enough for me to remember it. And I bit off more than I can chew. And I went to the store and I placed an order for some delivery to come on April, if they something. And I'm getting a delivery on April to something. And they're coming. And they're coming. You'll know what they are soon. They're coming. And I bit off more than I could chew because I said, okay, I'm gonna get so many. Okay, I'm gonna get so many. When I get there to place the order, the numbers that I had in my mind, I made up another number. And I gone over the number. I gone over the number. So I bit off. I done bit off more than I can chew. And plus I ordered some stuff for the garden. And then the indoor, I bit off more than I can chew. So I'm over here chewing. But I'll get it going. And that's why the raccoon cannot be here. Read between the lines. Raccoons is not my friend because I have some people coming and they don't want to be near the raccoons and they're coming in April and they have to have the place ready for them for their coming and they're coming. You gotta hold these. Oh yeah, I gotta hold these hoes. Yep, they're coming. So yes, I bit off more than I can chew, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but I'm planting. I'm going to be planting the same stuff that I like. I am going to try some new things, but probably not as much as in previous years because space is getting more limited. And I do want to make an effort this year of actually canning my stuff. I know some of you've been canning for forever. You done been canning. You've been freezing, dehydrating. You've been doing all that stuff. Hey, Cassandra. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I saw you earlier. I see your picture. So this is not new to you, but to me, it's definitely new canning. And I didn't have enough of any one particular thing to really can anything, to be perfectly honest. Tomatoes, yes, but didn't have enough okra, didn't have enough bean. Like it didn't make sense. And I know that certain plants don't produce as much as you want them to, and it's not really worth it. I plant them to just go out and eat, just like to eat while I'm out in the garden, not really to can, but I need to get definitely more okra out there if I'm going to can anything. Otherwise it's just going to be frozen in a one bag and I could have maybe 1 or 2 meals of it, which I'm still thankful for. I don't need to feed. This is not feed the nation. This is not feed feed the needy. It's feed yourself. So if I get 1 or 2 meals out of it, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. But I do want to do some canning and I want to can stuff that I've grown. I don't want to can one can. That doesn't make any sense. So hopefully I can get that sorted out. Lettuce is not a problem. I love lettuce, spinach, but I'm going to grow that indoors. I will put some outdoors just to see if there's a taste. Well, there will be a taste difference, I'm pretty sure, but I'm going to grow some outdoors on the veranda. That's going to be covered up. But yeah, that's what I'm doing in the garden. But I will have a list. I always have a list of what I'm going to plant and how many in terms of starts. And the reason why I do that is it makes it easier, less stressful, less chaotic. I can know how many of each plant I'm going to have. And if I'm doing most of the starts for my garden and the parents' garden, it's easier for me if I have it laid out like 10 kales, 10, 4 lacinato kales, 4 curly kales, 2, like I have it planned out to each thing. How many of each plant I need in total, and how many is going to each garden. How many to my garden, how many to their garden. And we do it that way. This year, I'm pushing them to get a hydroponics since I have my own and to maybe use that as a seed starting mechanism And then once they're big enough, they go outside. We cover them with the bottle, the milk jugs. Next, next, next. Keep going that way. Because you can plant your kale outdoors here in mid-February and March. And I've done it one year and I've covered them with plastic and they were fine. Kale, cabbage, collard, they can handle the cold. Trust and believe they can handle it. So I'm not doing all my starts indoors. It takes up too much space and it's just too much. All my carrots will be planted as early as I can, direct sown. My radishes, my turnips, my rutabagas. They can handle the cold. My only problem with them was that did not have enough fertilizer in the soil and they would not create a bulb. They can handle the cold. If they can handle the cold, don't add more work to your indoor seed starting mix, starting system. It's just too much. Lettuce will not be started indoors. They can grow and germinate on their own outdoors when it's fairly cold. Why am I going to plant them than to transplant them? Waste of my time. Spinach can grow direct. Like I'm going to be direct sowing more than before. Trust and believe. I ain't doing what I don't need to do inside unless I have to do it. Beetroot, I'll do indoors. It's pretty straightforward. Swiss chard, I'll do indoors. But lettuces that's so nah, outdoors. That's what I'm doing over here. And I think I was watching Broke Farmer's video yesterday with him and Hands in the Dirt. Um, they were talking about like he was mentioning like the peat pellets. I used the peat pellets for the first time last year. I loved them because I was having such a problem with gnats. That didn't have a problem, but he's right. You have to up pot them because they can't stay in that little peat pot. Even if you buy the big peat pots, well, no, the big ones are pretty big, but they can't stay in there, and you have to feed them because there's no nourishment, there's no soil. It's peat, so you got to up pot them. Then when you up pot them, I found I had to cut the mesh off because the roots weren't always getting through, and then the mesh is not going to dissolve in the soil. So I had to cut the mesh off gently, rip it off without damaging the roots. That's when I started using, I learned from Canadian Outdoors, mycorrhizal inoculate. I sprinkled that on the roots. They took off. No problem. That if you don't know about mycorrhizal, whatever it's called, you look that up. It's the best thing ever when you're transplanting. So when I transplanted from the peat pellets to the cups, that mycorrhizal, oh hey lashes, I started to tell you now. That mycorrhizal saved my life. Oh, you're walking? Sorry, whoops.
I am. Well, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
But
It's cold out.
yeah, I'm not doing that again. I'm trying to eliminate my work. And I hear what he was saying. Same thing. Up potting is time and work. And even though I put the rocks on top, them gnats are on standby. So yeah. But the gnats weren't as bad last year, to be honest. My problem was legginess. When them plants get leggy. Where's Keon? He's not with you?
No, because it's Saturday. It's
Because
with
I'm like, Keon's always with you.
yeah. I asked my daughter. I said, "Can you keep the baby? Because I need to go run. Because I ate too much yesterday." But yeah, a lot of my plants get leggy because I didn't put them in sun.
They need sun. Like there's no, I'm telling you. And for me, the window's not enough sun. It's not. I've been there, done that. I don't have the same climate and the angle as some of y'all who may be in. Well, you're in Florida, but maybe even the angle of your house is not conducive. Hey, Fifi, blessings to you. It don't work.
Mm-mm.
I've used grow lights and sunlight, and the grow light has to be right
Awesome.
on the plant.
Yeah.
So what I do for my plants that are leggy, I just plant them deep, like Planter said, just plant them deeper,
Uh-huh.
protect the stem, and bury them deeper, and they're fine.
Yeah.
All my leggy plants were fine, especially the cabbage, the kohlrabi, and when I say leggy, I mean leggy. Like it was barely holding itself up. It was just
Mhm.
like skinny leg and a fat head. It wouldn't hold itself. I just buried it deeper, and it was fine.
Uh-huh.
All of my plants gave me food. Every single leggy plant that you would have thrown out was fine.
Awesome.
But yes, if you're gonna grow indoors, you need lighting.
Yeah.
And I know some people say use a regular light. I've used a regular light. I use a light bulb. It doesn't work the same. You need something that's going to give it full coverage, like the full tray, even lighting. Otherwise, you're going to give yourself more work somewhere else along the line. Hey, April Showers.
True.
And I don't have time for extra work. I don't know about you. I don't got time.
Mm-mm.
Like, why do you bring your plants in? I know you said you bring them in at nighttime. Why? Is it that cold over there?
Yeah, it's 55, and to me, it's really cold. 55.
What's 55? Hold on. Let me put in weather. What's 55? I do Celsius. Sorry.
I can barely
So,
feel my hand right now.
hold on. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna type in my own live. Um, your weather. Give me a second
Yeah, almost.
because
Yes.
55 to me, 30 is zero. Hold on. I'm gonna check. Give me a second because I bet you your 55 is not that cold and the plants would be
To
fine.
you. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn my own volume down. Hold on. So I'm gonna type weather. Give me a second. Let me see if it pops up your weather. Yeah, even Fifi's saying 55 ain't cold. That ain't
Really?
cold. 13 degrees Celsius.
Is
No,
that
that's
good?
not. Are you planting cold tolerant plants like your cabbage, your bok choy, and stuff like that?
Yeah, cabbage. Yeah,
That should
brassica.
be fine. That should be fine.
I only have mine.
That's fine. Duval saying she only brings hers in if it's below 35 here in Florida. So yep, leave them outside.
So leave them outside.
Yep. If it's below 35, she's saying then she brings them inside because
Hmm.
that's below zero. But 35 is, but yeah, 55 ain't cold.
I thought it's freezing.
Well, you're talking to someone who's in right now. What's my weather? I think I'm -1. Hold on, I'll type it in.
It's not cold out there. I thought it was gonna be colder.
Hold on. I'm -2, and I'm not crying for cold. To me, it's just normal. So your plants can handle it, Lashes. Your plants can handle more than you think. Your
Okay.
plants, even though they're climatized to your zone,
Uh
I'm
huh.
not I'm not negating that. They're climatized to your zone. They can handle more than you think. And when you give them more extreme conditions, it makes them stronger. It makes their roots stronger and gives you less work.
Mm.
So I would suggest if you don't want to have the work back and forth,
Hmm.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, because I transplanted some out a couple days ago.
Yeah. And if it's that cold, you can cover them with a fleece. You can cover them with those milk jugs. Like I cut the tops off and I keep them for like a greenhouse effect if it's that cold. And I
Uh
take them
huh.
off in the morning. But so it's up to you. But me bringing them in and out the house, that's a lot of work. I don't know.
It is. It's a lot of work.
And that's what I'm trying to tell new gardeners because if you do all the extra work, you're not going to enjoy it. And if you're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to
Hmm.
do it. And if you're not going to do it, you're going to end up going back to the store and just you're not going to understand the value of it. You can make it easy and worthwhile at the same time. You don't have to, and don't follow everybody. If you don't want to, if you cannot manage 55 plants, don't plant 55 plants like the rest of us are doing. Only plant what you can manage.
So true.
Last year, I went overboard and then I was giving away plants, even giving away seedling. Cause I said I'm not letting none of them die. Or should drop off. Seedlings. I had too many seedlings. And then the man who was also gardening was giving me seedlings. Too many. I'm not doing that this year. I have another project that I'm going to be working on, and they're coming in April. I keep saying, so that's hint enough. I'm going to drop a video for the members when that comes for the members. So you guys will see that first before anybody else, or maybe you won't even, I won't even post it on the public just for the members only. You guys will definitely see that. And Fifi would already kind of know what's coming because she's already on that tip, but don't say it. But yeah, that's they're coming.
Well, you said something coming for us.
No, for me, I'm doing a project that's coming in April. So the members are gonna see, you guys will see in April what it is. I'm not gonna drop it in the regular content, but the members will see it. But It's the same as what Fifi's doing, but if you don't watch Fifi, you don't know. Fifi does it too. You saw her latest video, so that's what's coming over here in April. I'm gonna have a brothel. Hint, hint.
I wonder what's that.
I'm having a brothel
What's a brothel?
because Badass is saying that I'm gonna be a madame because I'm trying to get my hoes in check. So I ordered some hoes. Wink, wink. But they're not hoes. And they're gonna be my broth. I have a brothel. You gotta catch the joke. If you don't get it, then you're not gonna get it. You're like, what the hell is she talking about? So you're not gonna, So yeah, and Duval has it too. But I don't know, Duval, how you have a rooster over there? I don't know what's going on over there. Did your thing work? What's that? The bok choy lashes?
I transplant out everything.
Oh, that's good. I have to plant mine indoors. I didn't plant nothing yet. My weather here is very mild. There hasn't been that much snow. And that actually bothers me, not in the way that you think, because I paid for snow removal this year at the rental property, and you pay a flat fee for the year, and they haven't worked. They haven't. That's the risk you take, mind you. They haven't done hardly any shoveling because it hasn't been snowing. So maybe it would have been cheaper for me to pay for each shovel, like I used to do. I used to pay per shovel, but if it's heavy winter, sometimes you end up paying more. But this year, I think I'm not going to end up getting my money's worth paying a flat fee. Yeah, unfortunately. So I kind of want it to snow more over there so that I can get my money's worth. I have a chronic.
Oh, so you have to pay for somebody to shovel your snow?
Yeah, because I was told from the saucy root Ota Ada Gyal, it's your responsibility. Even though they signed a waiver that they're going to take care of it because you live there. But then she's saying, oh, well, the other unit's not doing what it's supposed to do. Mind your own business. Because even when the person was there or not there, you weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I had to pray some fire down from heaven on them people, you see. I had to sit down and ask God and pray some fire. But he answered my prayer, thank God. And everything kind of calmed down a little bit. And then they pay them rent. But may I tell you them, the girl them, they're rude. They're rude. That's all I can say, guys. They're rude. And you're not talking to me any kind of way at all. I don't care what title you think you have. I don't care what club you think you're a part of. I don't care what clan you think you're a part of. And I don't care the consequences. My family and ancestors did not fight for the rights for me to sit down and just be treated like a piece of ish. So you're not talking to me any kind of way. No, ma'am. No, sir. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. And when you stand up for yourself, they don't like it. I don't care about what you like and how you feel. You're not talking to me like a piece of ish. Let me tell you that. Sidebar. So there's a bit of calm in the storm right now, but she coming. Don't worry. I know she coming. But there's people in this world who think they can talk to you like a piece of crap. No. Back to the rooster. I have a Cochin rooster. He crowing is not as loud as others. So how is a crow caller working, Fifi? I know David said it was good, but you let us know too, because depending on the information that I get, I just may keep crossing the boundaries over here. Because if I can start doing other things, yeah, Urban just be pushing the boundary. You can have to call the popo on me. Bring the popo. Call them. There's people breaking big laws and hurting people. I'm just here trying to grow some food and feed myself. So that's what's a problem in these streets. That's fine. Come for me. That's why I'm going to be cleaning up the garage in the spring, because if worse comes to worse, my garage is going to be a whole house, I guess, a house of hoes. Chicken heads, cluckety cluck cluck clucks. I'll put them in the garage.
Urban a
they,
bad
they ain't
gangster.
coming in here. But yeah. So that's that last story. What else happened this week? Oh yeah, what else happened this week? Growing food, the raccoon, the squirrel, blood pressure. Talked about that. That's about it for me, I think. So whatever you guys want to talk about, y'all can talk about. The crow collar works, but you have to readjust it period. Yeah, because it gets looser. They probably like fight with it and try to take it off. But yeah.
What you put in your
So
compost juice? Because I just put the kitchen scraps on water.
yeah,
So
kitchen scraps, banana peels, cabbage skin, leaves. I put
what? I need to pour anything in there or no?
no, you just it's that's the whole point. It's just water and your scraps.
Stink.
Sorry?
I said it stink.
It should stink. It should stink. You're sitting there letting the food rotten in water and ferment and getting all the nutrients out of it. It's gonna stink. That's why people keep it far from their house. I think you have it right near your deck. Where are
Yeah.
you?
No, I'm
That should
outside
be
with a raised bed.
far. Okay, it should be far from. Hey, Mrs. Queen.
But you know what, Urban? The kitchen scraps that I put in here, look at all these seeds. So I don't know.
Well, do you hold on? When you say kitchen scraps, are you putting the seeds in the compost?
I think those are probably pumpkin seed or watermelon
Yeah, I
seed.
don't do that. I take my seeds out and I use them to plant because if you put your but then again, that's not a bad thing. Like my compost, not my liquid compost, my
Mm-hmm.
compost bin, when you put old vegetables in there, they will grow, because it's a perfect warm environment. So we've gotten pumpkin from our compost bin. We've gotten squash, Jamaican pumpkin,
Mm-hmm.
cabbages that grew in there. So that's good. That means it's healthy. Hey J3GS, that's good. But I take my seeds out of my pumpkins and my squashes and I keep them as like to plant or I roast them or whatever. But yeah, they'll grow you food. They'll grow you food.
Oh, so leave them in there.
Yeah, it's not hurting nobody. It's not hurting nothing. It's just if you see a plant in there or seedling, take it out and plant it.
Mm.
Don't waste it.
Yeah. So
But
that's
yeah, compost tea is
good.
good. You're putting back the stuff in there, and I sometimes I'll bury some of the stuff under the pots and the beds. I'll put like the cuttings of the eggshells. I'll just bury them in the pots.
Mm.
I try it all. There's no one way
Yeah.
to do it. You can do a multitude of things and get good results.
Because I'm new to this. I'm learning from y'all.
Yeah, but I think people who have the liquid, the compost bin, they have a bigger bucket. You have a 5-gallon bucket. Most people are doing it in like the big drums. But
Mm.
I only have a 5-gallon bucket as well. So I have 2 buckets going. One with like banana peels and one with some other stuff. And I don't leave it. After 2 or 3 weeks, I use all the liquid, I dump the stuff in the compost bin, and I do a fresh one. There was too much
Uh,
bees and flies getting dead up in there. It was capturing flies and bees and wasps. I'm like, what's going on over here? They were going in there and drowning.
oh. Uh-huh.
It was too much. I said, no, sir, I don't want no more work. You can transplant them when they're old enough to a spot. Yeah, vertical planting.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so there's some good practices that you can use. There's some best practices, but at the same time, you got to be flexible. You got to experiment, as Planter says. You have to experiment because you're not gonna know unless
Try, yeah.
you try something different. Like, say, you know what, that didn't really work too good. Let me try. Like I tried that lettuce thing, that did not work. So you guys know, don't cut the root ball. Don't take no shortcut. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna go buy one. And that was $4 of my money thrown down the toilet, which is not much, but it's still that's food. But I'm gonna try it again. But the ones from Seed are doing very good. They're pushing out their true leaf right now. The true leaves. No problem, Mrs. Queen. You're going back behind backstage. No problem. But yeah, grow some food, guys. Grow some food.
Hey, Mrs.
It's
Queen.
spring. It's spring. Don't wait until spring. Start your planning now Get your supplies now. They're on sale. I think they're having some good sales even on Amazon. If you wait too long, you might miss the sales. But mind you, Erica's putting up coupons. But you better watch Erica because Erica, how you out there buying and maxing out your budget. So don't watch Erica too much.
I didn't have her second channel. I had her first channel.
Which one? The My Fly family?
Yeah, that's the one I have. I didn't
Yeah,
know she
that's
had
the
another
family channel. Her personal channel is Erica My Fly Family, and she puts up the sales on there. But you better watch them coupons. I tell you. You'll be
Yeah.
clicking Amazon every day, so just you better. She's like, I'm not making you buy it. Yeah, but you're tempting the crackheads out here, the shopping fanatics, and she's putting up these sales, and Gina's being sucked in. Her budgeting is gone. She has no more budget. Gina budget gone. Her budget is gone. She's been clicking and clacking on the sales. Why don't chickens wear pants? Because their peckers are in their face. That was wow. That was cheesy. But right now I'm doing a plant-based diet. I'm not really talking about it much, but it's not really strict. It's just I'm just listening to my body.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I bought something vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of vegetarian food out there. There is, but there isn't. The only problem, what's that banging out there? My God, that's banging on the place. The only problem I'm having is that I don't want to eat out very often, and I don't want sodium and all that other stuff. So that's the only thing. So yeah.
So the best thing is to do is to cook it.
It's better to cook. Hey, Tori's brain. It's better to cook the food yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm going to tell you that the truth. It's not always possible.
Yeah.
Right now, things are busy.
Yeah, I know.
And things come in seasons. And I could make time to cook, but sometimes you're not in the mood.
Just make the time, Urban.
Yeah. So I'm juicing. I'm making shots.
True.
Don't get me wrong, but to sit down and cook sometime, I did make some pasta. I made some rasta pasta. I'm gonna make more rasta pasta. That to me is with the chickpea pasta, and I made it with the whole grain pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am gonna cook. I'm gonna just cook and make a big batch to last me. And I went and I bought falafel someplace, which was good. But I can buy my own falafel and make my own with whole grain bread and stuff. So I'm gonna get myself together this week. Don't worry. But it's for those of you who are busy. You can eat healthily, but you got to pick and choose where you're buying from. There's a place that I found that's making only vegetarian wraps and sandwiches and shots and juices. And every day they have a different special. So if worse come to worse, I can go there and get like a wrap and a, whatever. But Denise is on the porch playing the guitar. That girl's a
Your
hoe,
sister?
Man. No, the damn raccoon. He's mocking the raccoon. Little hoe. So fat, rude. I'm telling you, the tenant's like, what's all that noise? I was hearing some noise. And she got up from her bed and looking, but she don't realize it's coming from the back. She's looking at the front. She's looking at like if somebody's trying to break. She's looking around. No, it's the raccoon. She goes, raccoon, yes. Raccoons are loud. You think it's a bear, some kind of bear attack. It's a raccoon. Then when you go out there and look at them, they look so innocent with the little stripes under their eye and the little, whatever, wicked, disgusting creatures. Anyways, back off the raccoon, that hoe over there. Yeah. So I found some places I can buy food at just in case, because the one thing I don't like, I love Jamaican food. Don't get me wrong, but every Jamaican restaurant that I go to does not cater to vegan lifestyle.
No, they don't. Mm-mm.
The only Caribbean restaurants that support veganish food is the Trinidadians them. Because Trinidadians them have doubles, them have chickpea roti with potato aloo, them have certain things in their culture that's vegetarian. So I can go there and get vegetarian food. I cannot go to a Jamaican place and get no vegetarian food. That to me is problematic.
Unless a Rastaman have one shop.
And there's one Rastaman shop, but he's in Scarborough. Scarborough's the other end of Toronto, the other side of Toronto. That's too far to get one little Ital meal. So I'm like, why can't Jamaican restaurants? They're around every corner. Why can't they have one ital menu item? Like, okay, we'll do chickpeas and whole grain rice on Wednesdays, and then on this day they can do like roti, chickpea or something like one item that's ital that I would buy from them. I wouldn't have to go drive all over the place, and
Yes,
but they don't get it. They don't seem to
you
care.
know.
They think everyone wants oxtail and jerk chicken and pork and
Hidden.
oh coyote urine. Basically, what you're trying to do is have the smell of a predator in your garden, your outdoor. This is not for indoor gardening, so don't be putting pee around your indoor garden. This is for outdoor gardening, and it keeps the predators away. Most times, if you have a husband, let your husband go out and pee in your garden.
Uh-huh.
And some of y'all are coming into my chat now, so you're like, "What the hell is she talking about?" Get your husband or your grown boy man, your grown sons to pee because the testosterone will deter animals from coming because they're like, oh, there's a predator here, and they won't come into your garden. So get your husband to pee around your garden or pee in a cup and pour it out there, or just your grown sons because you need testosterone. Um, and you can buy pee. You can buy
Oh,
whatever coyote pee. But if you got men in your house, then just let them go out there and pee.
oh,
It's
really? I
cheaper.
never heard
It's
that
free.
before.
Hey, Shandy Cheek. Yeah, they go out there and pee, and that will be testosterone. I don't know if female pee might work. I could try it. I could just put it in a cup and just sprinkle it out there, but I'm gonna look real crazy now. But I don't really care. It works for raccoons. It may work for raccoons. I don't know because I don't have nobody here to pee, and I'm certainly not spending money on urine because I've been spending money on black pepper. I'm spending money on hot sauce. I put down spikes, plastic spikes. She not getting no nothing. She getting a pellet gun. That's what she gonna get in her rear end.
He's a pallet gun.
Yeah, some of the money, like some of the remedies that they're giving you, are for people who live in the country. They don't have raccoons like coming around every day. It may work for the city, it may work, but if you're in an urban environment, people be dumping garbage here and there. The like this is not the same as living in a 5 acre property where it's spaced out. It's different. I don't think that's gonna work. I could pee from here to kingdom come. That raccoon gonna be coming back because there's not a lot of food here. And when they have one garden in a street with 50 houses, and I'm the only one gardening at my level, and I'm gonna be having some visitors on April that gonna be smelling like Popeyes. They're gonna be coming over here. I could pee from here to kingdom come. I could have every man on the street come and piss on the backyard. Now that sounds crazy. She's still gonna come because I have things that they want. So you need to be now doing something a little bit more serious to get rid of them. Yeah. But if you live in a more, spaced out area, it's fine. And garbage day, you can see the garbage bins have been opened up because the raccoons be looking in the garbage for food. They're hungry. They are hungry. Female P works for luring. Yeah, luring deer. No, 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 no. I don't need to. But I know you hunt. You hunt, so I know that. But I ain't lure. I don't want to lure nothing. I have enough hoes over here. Don't need no more. I have squirrels. I got the raccoon. I got the groundhog. George the groundhog is over here too, and all other creatures. So no, 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 no. Car keys or khakis? I missed what you just said. Khakis? I don't know. I missed what you said. So sorry. I don't know what it is. So yeah. But yes. And I'm making an appointment. I found some friends to go to the range with. But what I found out, which is completely annoying me, I'm gonna book a 1 hour session at the firearm range. And you get to try a handgun, a shotgun, and a rifle, which is what I want to try because I haven't had my hands on one since November. But it says you must have a party of 2. I'm like, well, nobody else. I'm the only one that's doing this. So I have to bring a friend. excuse me, she don't have to pay, but she has to just be there. I guess they don't want to be doing one-on-one. They want a witness there, I guess. So you have to go with a friend. Um they're making fun of your Boston accent. Okay. Um so yeah, I'm gonna go to the range probably next week if all goes well for the first time. My license is not in yet. I have to hand in, so I'm gonna go this week and get the passport picture taken, hand in all the stuff. But you can go to this particular range. It's fully staffed with licensed individuals, but I have to bring a friend, so I'm gonna bring my sister. Hopefully, I told her already. I found two other ladies at church that want to get their license. I just said I got mine. I wasn't even doing any kind of a announcement. I just said, "Oh yeah, I got my license." Oh, they want to get mine too. I said, "Well," I sent them the link of where I got the information and where to find the classes. I did a back to back, so they want to do it. Both of them have been to the range in the States in Atlanta, they've mentioned, because I guess their family shoots. So they've been to the range, they love it. So they are really interested. And a third person wants to also do it. So I may have some females over here that I have to go to the firing range with, which will be good. So it's not just going to be me. So that's pretty good. So I will be going, and my goal is to try. I think Fifi has the Mossberg, to try the Mossberg pump action shotgun. For those of you who have firearms, please tell me. I know I did it in the class, but what's the difference or the benefit to you between shotguns and rifles? What's like, what is it? I don't know. You guys let me know. I know we're talking about a whole bunch of different things. The chat has its own thing going on. I'm doing my own thing. Like it's like three things happening at the same time. Hey, good blessings to you, GT Junior. What? I like a shotgun. I tried them both. I do like a shotgun. What's like? Is there a benefit to a rifle or versus a shotgun? Because from what I remember, they can hold three rounds, right? Or three. Yeah, I put 3 in the shotgun and 1 in the chamber when we're doing in class. And the rifle, I think could hold 3 or 4, right? Hey, Bud Files. And I'm going to be ending soon because I keep going on for. I'm not going on for no 5 hours today. Let me tell you that. So we're gonna end. But what's the rifle? From what I remember, I know the rifle you can kind of open it half and then you can put it on so it's not activated. I don't know. And while we're talking about firearms, I want to bring up what I saw on the news, but I don't want to call out anybody's name, so let's not type in the chat the people damn name. But you guys should all be aware that there's a celebrity who was charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter for a firearm incident on a movie set. We'll talk about that in a second. I've got an AK-10. Well, I can't have an AK over here. That's been banned. So all I can have is a shot and a rifle. That's all I can have. I can't even own a hand one. I can only use it at the range. I can't. So the AK is not even an option for me. And from what I understand in the States, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I saw that they're trying to change the amount of rounds that you're allowed to have. Okay, take care, JD. Yeah, you go study. Just don't be hanging out here all day with me. Trust me, because I'm gonna go on too long, and I'm gonna be ending soon. But thanks for popping in.
Bye, JD.
My 12 gauge is semi-automatic, so that's your shotgun. That's your shotgun. No, I'm in Canada, Shandy. I'm in Canada, and they be trying to take away stuff. Had I known, I wasn't interested in. I didn't think I needed one. Had I known things earlier, even like 5 years ago, and I had things in my possession, it would have been completely different. But doesn't matter if I could own one or not. I'm going to know how to use one. And if you drop yours, I'm going to take it up, allegedly, I'm going to take it up and I'm going to deal with the case. So that's all I need to know. As long as I know how to use one. So, yeah. But shotgun are a multi-tool. I like it. My preference is towards it just based on what I've used, but I don't want to maybe close my mind to something without. Yeah, obesity is the raccoon we're talking about. That's the hoe over there. Yeah. Okay, so I like this. Okay, so the Mossberg, I am gonna try it. I am glad I got into 2A when I did. Go such a good. Yeah, and I am gonna be hunting. I'm my hunting license is gonna be worked on. I'm looking at the calendar. I would say next 2 weeks. I have to just do the course online, and I'm gonna find a group I can go hunting with. So this is part of my preparedness. Um, I'm going to find a group to go hunting with. I'm going to figure out when turkey hunting season starts. I don't even know. I'm totally like new, brand new to this, but my focus, and it's not cheap with the range is costing me for an hour session with freedom seeds and 3 items, 120 bucks. If you want to buy more freedom seeds during the hour, if you run out, you can buy more. It's 20 bucks for they give you a certain amount depending on the caliber. And then the goal obviously is to go and have your own stuff that you can use the other places and just do your own training. But if I'm not licensed, I have to be with someone who's licensed. So I don't have my paperwork yet. Looking for a pre-BAM M. I got 100 rounds drums for my AR and for my okay. I'm just looking at the chat. Sorry, reading what I missed about the pews. Yeah. So I'm telling people here, I tell them I'm 2A, which doesn't make sense because I'm in Canada. But we mean 2A. Like that's definitely an American thing. But I would say I'm a member of the 2A community, which I am. You guys incorporated me in, or I invited myself, however you want to word it. But I'm here now, and I'm like, yeah, and they're looking at me like, yeah, I got my firearms license, and they're like, ooh. I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I'm not gonna be sitting here being waiting to be attacked. I got a binary on my AR-15. My range cost is 100 annually. Okay, that's for the membership. Yes. So once I'm licensed, I can become a member, which is probably what you are. You probably like have a membership fee. Hey, Janet Homestead. And then you can bring your own pencils. Yeah, and paper. Okay, I see that. I like that. Pencils and points. Yeah. So hey, Miss Ellen Pankey. So yeah, I'm gonna get a members. My sister may be interested in being licensed. I'm not even sure. I've done it. I did it, and that may open the door for in Canada here. A lot of my female friends to get licensed, women of color to get their license. Even though we can't do what you all do in the States, you can't take away my knowledge and my skills. You can't take away my practicing. If I know how to use something, point blank period, and it comes to a situation where you drop yours or something happens, I'm going to be able to pick it up and carry on and take care of business. That's the way it's going to go. So I'm going to do what I have to do, and they are also, I didn't even talk to them about it. They don't watch my channel, none of that stuff, but something's in the air. Something's in the air, and they are very interested in understanding how to protect their home at the very least and not to be a victim, and also for hunting. Some people do want to say, you know what, they need to hunt their own food. Yeah, that 93 settings in the country. He can go out and just whatever. That's very convenient, but I have to become a member. I'm going to go to that particular range. It's out of my way. It's way in a place called Cambridge, but it was recommended to me by my teacher. I'm going to go there, check it out, and I'm going to ask them, do they have another office somewhere else closer or can recommend something else? It may be a competitor, but I don't want to go all the way to Cambridge because if it's that far, I'm not going to go very often. But at the same time, the ones that are out in the more remote areas are better and have a different vibe to it. So I'll figure it out. And I do want to move somewhere further out, but I don't know if I'm going to move into that direction. I may go in the other direction. We'll see. But I'm going to go to the range. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to record. If I am, I'll drop it to the members first, and then I'll drop it to everybody because you guys have all been a part of that journey. But I'll give them a pre-handle, a preview. I'm reading handles, and Mossberg comes with 2 handles. One is for close work. Watch it. I just find it so hilarious that Miss Ellen Pankey is talking about Mossberg. Let me get a drink, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take a commercial break. Give me in a second because my mouth is getting dry. Okay, thank you. All right. My son and grandson are 2A and black belt in martial arts, plus some others. Watcha. Miss Ellen Pankey's is skilled, man. Give me a second here. Okay, how much turn those messages? But yeah, it's she's crafty, but don't play with her. Don't play with her. I'm a trained expert. Don't mess with old. I'm telling you, don't play with Miss Ellen Pankey. She'll take those crochet needles and mash you up. Turn you into a Twinkie in a pretzel. Commercial break. Yeah, word from our. I need a commercial video. I'm gonna have to work on that. So I'm gonna take a commercial break. You guys can watch some urban advertisements, because yeah, and that's true. We need to learn from our elders, and yeah, she's crafty, but don't play. Don't come on her property and play. You're not gonna like what happens to you. So that's exactly what's happening over here. And I'm just glad it's happened organically. I didn't have to really say or mention anything. I mentioned to some people, like, well, it was a men. I'm 2A, and they were like, because everyone's so against it. The people that I mentioned it to were against it. Before I really got into it, this is when I first started. I think I had just started my channel. And I started watching some of you all. No, just watching people, whatever. No intent on being quote unquote 2A, but it's about protecting myself, point blank, period. I'm not out here looking to hurt anybody, but I'm going to protect myself and protect my property. And I think that's more than reasonable. And I guess you could say I was kind of always 2A if you want to say that, because I said if I go back to Jamaica to live, I'm not going back there to live unless I have a piece of steel. Because over there, there is no, you can call the popo, but by the time they get to you, and if they're not being paid by the bad man, them that is. Hey, Miss Native Cherokee. Hey, Sugar Daddy. If they're not being paid for by the bad man, them and on their payroll, that's another thing. But back to before we go, I'm going to end soon because just 2 hours is a good enough time. Yeah. So over here, there are people here, women here who have their firearms. And from what I noticed with them, they are people who travel to the States frequently. So maybe that's the reason why, so that when they're in the States, they can maneuver and take care of certain things if need be. Because of the exposure they have to this through other countries, traveling, working in these states and stuff like that. So that's possibly part of their exposure to it. Oh, no problem. You can lurk. But over here, I'm noticing a new change, and this is because they're seeing for themselves the restrictions and the bans that are being placed on certain things. And a lot of people in Canada, we have various provinces, and other provinces, hunting is a very integral part of their day-to-day living. Horse ranging, cattle ranging, all of that kind of cowboy, kind of quote unquote cowboy lifestyle. There are that a lot of that's also in Canada. That Montana, imagery you have in your mind, Calgary, Manitoba, all of these different provinces are known for that. Not everything's Toronto and the big city and the CN Tower. There are many parts of Canada that hunting and fishing are a major part of day-to-day living. They live in more remote areas. Being run down by a moose like GT in Alaska is very normal. Deers, antelope, like it's a regular thing over here. So you're talking about a whole country, but they focus on what's happening in the cities. And what happens in the cities, in my opinion now, is a lot of gang stuff that has nothing to do with responsible individuals who are living a responsible life, practicing proper safety measures and all that. That's not the same. People who rely on hunting and fishing and trapping, strong First Nations community here, and also people who do that as part of their life, their livelihood, and limiting people's amounts of freedom seeds and all that stuff sounds good on paper, but is that really realistic? If you're hunting, an animal that's fairly large, or you're far away from stores to get supplies, or like there's caveats and nuances. And a lot of people in Canada probably have always had firearm training. It's been part of everyday life. In the city, not so much, unless you're in the blues or the reds. You know what those are, right? And yeah, we had them over here too. We got the blues and the reds. Those moose, yeah, moose. My friend was in the country. This is years ago. I haven't seen that friend in years. His car got hit by a deer, or the deer hit the car, or I don't know, the deer or the moose. It was a moose. They were way up in some country area, and he had a scar in his forehead for the rest of his life because the windshield, slashed him in his forehead. But something happened. The moose ran out in the road, and I guess collision happened, and that moose walked away like nothing. That moose walked away as if he got brushed with a hairbrush. They are solid creatures. And that car was mashed up. They had to get someone, like, I don't even know how they got out of there. And that was well before cell phones. Like, you had a phone. No, that was before cell phones. So I'm talking like going back. And the car was mashed up. And that deer walked away like nothing. You don't walk around those areas with a little play, little folding knife. And no. So I got exposed to that during my training here because one of the girls used to work in a national park. A young girl worked to work in a national park in Canada. And she's like, yeah, like this is, I think she's already trained, but she was getting some other training because she's applying to be RCMP officer or OPP, one of the two. So we met them. She was really helpful during the class, and I liked her vibe. She's a nice lady, nice girl. And then another girl, same thing, wants to be a CBSA officer, so you have to have your own firearms. Hey, MTGV TV. So that's what's going on. So there's a lot of women over here, a lot of changes, a lot of people applying to be in law enforcement in some capacity. So I'm seeing a lot of shift. That's my experience. And the women that I'm talking to that happen to just hear me say, yeah, I'm 2A, or, what does that mean? Oh, I got my firearm. Oh, I want to get my, and like, they're serious. So hopefully I can have a gang of girls over here that I can go to do training with and get to know and really do some, moose. Don't play with moose. And the deers ain't much behind them either. They're solid. I carry many different types of things, no matter where I am, always watching my surroundings, seeing what you can be useful. Oh yeah, I am trying to be more aware. I think I'm pretty aware of well, I've been aware in my backyard because I'm not going in my backyard with a machete, because them little raccoon them. I was watching a video on somebody on Instagram, and they were trying to get the raccoon out of their shed, their chicken run, and her and her husband had to do it. And then she took the video down because somebody complained on one of the social medias. That just got on my nerves. Why, if you don't want to watch something, just don't watch it. Why you come now? I can't watch the video because somebody in there look cry yourself. She does not believe in killing anything, or well, I shouldn't say the word of dispatching anything. She was getting rid of it nicely. I would have probably dispatched it. So I don't know why you're complaining about her video. So I couldn't even get to watch it. But what she said was, it was very strong. It was strong. Like, they have a stick trying to push it, and the resistance that they were getting from this little creature, it's very strong. So I'm not going into my backyard. And I told you already, I've been in my backyard gardening, and look at the back behind the fence, and in the tree, she looking at me. She moved the bushes them, and she looked at me. And then she went back into the bushes, and like literally like an emoji. I'm like, if I could have got that on recording, you'd be laughing your head off. Anyways, so I'm going to be going with my machete. I am aware of my surroundings. I make sure before I leave some places, I go around my car. I check for anything odd on it, weird on it. I check. I park in a place that's, suitable. I'm aware of my surroundings. People know where I am. I usually go places with somebody, but people know where I'm going. If I'm going to the natural path, they'll know where I'm going. I know where my sister, like, we have a WhatsApp family chat group, whatever. We know where each other's going. I have my friends here. I can say, I'm going over here, just, letting you know, so that, if you don't hear from me in 2 hours, check on me. My first job was after college. It was a DC police officer. Yeah, I saw your you mentioned that in one of your stories, and I'm like, this lady is bad. She's bad. And I thought you were too small and too petite. This woman is bad. Hey, Martika. I'm going to be winding it down soon, guys, but I'm just going through my last. But I know we all saw the news about the celebrity. Let's not type the person's name, who was charged with 2 counts of manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. I have not read all the information. I'm just piecing what I'm seeing in the news and what I saw. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm not too sure how I feel about it, but I don't know. I'm concerned because this is my train of thought, and then you guys can give me your opinion on it, but don't type the person's name. But we're just talking about, a story, and we're typing about the facts, talking about the facts of the story. I don't want to focus on the who. The who doesn't even matter. But a celebrity, my issue is this, and let me know what you think. If you were on a site and the whole premise and focus of this site is quote unquote make believe, reenactments, you're playing a character, and this is what you do. The whole premise of the property, the site, the places, it's all about recreating something and presenting it and making it look real. And if you're on that property, site, that place with the premise that everything here is fake, maybe even inoperable, it's a prop, because when you hear the word prop, it's prop. It's not equated to being a real device. And you're also asked the staff if anything is real, any of the freedom seeds are real, and you're under the impression that it's pretend. I don't know how fair it is to hold somebody to the same standard of handling a real item versus handling something that was communicated to them as fake, maybe inoperable, and not having live freedom seeds, live tips. I don't know what to call it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know if that is a fair thing to do. Just it doesn't matter who it is or what it is. Yeah, those charges may not stick, but the fact that they were even presented is problematic, and I hope they don't stick, because before I even go any further, I am sincerely and genuinely sorry for the loss of life, and that was terrible. That was horrible. That was like I could see that the person was very remorseful, because that's not the intent at all. So there's several problems with this story. There's several problems with this scenario. And I don't know much, but I know during my class, they were inoperable. The pins were removed. They were made that way. They were inoperable. You could put the rounds in and clickety clickety clack. Nothing's going to project. So I don't know if that was the case. That probably should have been the case. That's what you're expecting. And if you're relying on your staff and the professionals to handle this, and then they're not telling you the truth, and they can switch things at any time, and then the first thing we learned in my training class, and you all are experts, you've been doing this for longer than I have, is prove. It was acts and prove. Don't tell me what the acts part is, but aim something, something, and prove that it's unloaded, and you point it in a safe direction. And I gotta review my book. I gotta print my book. You guys know what I'm talking about. Pointing in a safe direction. When you're at the range, you must point it down range. There's certain rules of engagement when you're handling a real item. If you expect this act, caricature to treat it like a real item, then they need to be told it's a real item and to handle it accordingly. And maybe in turn be properly trained to handle a real item, whether or not it has live seeds in them. Because whether or not it has live seeds, if it's a real item and it can function properly in the way that it was manufactured to function, then that character needs to treat it as a real item. So during class, we have to treat it as a real item. If you're telling somebody it's an inoperable prop pretend, that's a completely different scenario. And you cannot hold them to task for not treating it like a real item when, as far as they know, it was a fake item. That's all I'm trying to say. Because if it's a real item, but you're using dummies in them, fake, blanks, whatever you call them, it's still a real item. So they need to handle it like a real item. I'm missing the chat, but I think you guys are seeing, the same thing. That's what I'm talking about. So if you told this person it's fake, it's inoperable, it's a prop, that's the way they're handling it. And from what the accuser has said, accuser, is that what we call him? I'll call him the defendant. From what the defendant has said, the trigger was not pulled. And now people are who are experts saying that that's not possible, and they're giving their 5 cents, blah 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 blah. I'm not even listening to that right now because I'm just listening to the story and basing it off of that. The chat says no reason for real anything on a set. Exactly, sugar. So why did it pop off? The fact says they were real seeds. Sorry, hold on that set. Right. Why would there even be real seeds on the set? If everything was supposed to be pretend and make believe, there should never have even been real seeds anywhere on the set. And if the firearm was operational and the only thing protecting it from being used was using dummy seeds, then the person should have been trained and told this is a real item. Because if something were to go wrong in real life, this item would fire. It's an operational working item. The pin is inside. And if you're only relying on, it's dummies. Oh, don't worry, it's dummies. Once I know something is real, I'm going to act accordingly, even if I'm not trained, because it's real. And if I'm at the mercy of somebody putting in the right dummies in them, because I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody. That's the point. I'm going to trust nobody. But if you're told the item is fake and inoperable, and he said, I did not pull a trigger. Maybe he put it, I don't know what happened, but it fired. I don't know if it was a pistol or whatever. I don't even know all that because they all operate a bit differently. And that's why I didn't like in class doing the half cock and the this, that. I want it on and off. Safety on, safety off, a trigger, and that's it. I don't want all this clickety clackety clack because I know for me, it's gonna confuse me and make me, I'm too new at this. So I'm gonna just do with what's a little simpler. If you guys know all that stuff, that's good for you. But for me, who's brand new, no. If it's what I recall, the seeds weren't real, but the seeds that killed the person, I can't say that word, that ended that whatever the word, that injured that person, were real. So something was switched along the way. I'm still confused. If it was supposed to be a prop, why? That's exactly the question. That's it, Shandy. That's exactly it. Okay, back to to search for Smith and Wesson. Why would there have exactly triple? Exactly. So if something's a prop, it's supposed to be a literal prop. It's supposed to be an inoperable item. And if you have a prop, in my opinion, I don't know how the movie industry works, there should be no firing pin in that item. Point blank, period. It's supposed to be a prop. If you have willy-nilly characters playing a character, handling real items, and the only thing that's protecting them is a prop staff person that's supposed to know how to handle props, but not handle the real thing, hell no. No, sir. You can see the disaster coming from a mile away. So note to self, people. Let this be a lesson to all of us. Don't trust nobody. At all. Because even if this is not going to stick, even if you're talking about a person who has some kind of wealth and money and can pay for lawyers. But this is still not an easy process. This is very stressful and traumatic process. So even that in and of itself is a problem. To be under this amount of stress could be detrimental to his health. I know it's not about what's fair, it's about the law. But that's what I'm saying. When I say the word fair, I'm talking about the law. Yeah, you're right. But the law should be fair. This is part of the problem. The law is not always fair. So I hear you, and I hope you hear what I'm saying. It's not what you know or what you can prove. It's what you can prove. Yeah, but the law has more leniency than we think. And what is there for him to prove? What is there for him to prove? This is what I'm questioning. You are not responsible for the props. You happen to be using the props as part of your job to do a scene or whatever you were doing. So why are you, as the employee, now responsible for the outcome of those props and not the employer? Because the person who is responsible for the props has been charged as well. The director or somebody higher up got off on some lower charges or something, and the employer is probably going to get charged or get sued, because I know a lawsuit's definitely going to be coming, because you're holding an employee, whether you're an actor, doesn't that part's not even important, responsible for an outcome that was clearly caused by the negligence of the employer and the person in charge of the equipment. But now they're placing the charge on the employee, saying that the two charges are this. There's one charge, they're both involuntary manslaughter. If you read the charges, one is they have to prove negligence. The second manslaughter charge, you're going to have to prove, what's the word? Recklessness. Yeah, recklessness. How can you charge an employee for being careless and or reckless in a scenario when, under their interpretation, everything was a prop? How is recklessness even on the table? Negligence, I can kind of see that, but not really. But, in a legal realm, I can see a negligence, because obviously that wasn't. So how are you getting a reckless charge? Because the negligence charge is 18 months. The reckless charge, the involuntary manslaughter, it's worded different, but it's once to prove negligence, once to prove recklessness. That's several years. That's a lot of years. So they're focusing on the news about up to 18 months. That's for the one charge. Now, I don't know if he was charged with both, or he got that charge and the other lady got the higher charge because she wasn't taking care of the props properly. I'm not too sure, but that part's not clear. It's a movie set. I hope they chart. They know nothing about so yeah, we need to keep our eye on this story. You need to keep an eye on this story. Because this is affecting, it's going to be shined in a light to either put a bad light on, 2A or firearms in the US, and also accountability when it comes to loss of life and props and XY. It's going to cover more than one category. Someone wanted to cause chaos. We need to keep an eye on this story, because something's fishy about it. And unfortunately, somebody who was just there doing their job, and that's what he does, he's doing a job, is now being held accountable for a loss of life. Now let me read what's bad. So I have a question. So do you charge a person with manslaughter if it's a true accident? That's what we're talking about. Now, yes, you do charge them with manslaughter, because the definition of manslaughter is basically a loss of life. It wasn't intentional. If it was intentional, that's when things start going up. So that's exactly why when you have vehicular manslaughter, if there's loss of life, or, you're going to be charged. It could have been an accident. You could not have been drinking. You could be sober. You could have been. But depending on how the investigation works, if your brakes were faulty because you didn't maintain them, whatever the reason is, you could be charged with vehicular manslaughter for an accident. And the same happens with other aspects of life. So the charge is valid. The person being charged, though, I'm not sure if that's correct. Because I feel that he is a victim just as much as the person who lost their life. And unfortunately, he was the one that was handling the prop. But from what he said, and I don't have any reason to think that there's a lying involved, the trigger was not pulled. Yeah. And Sugar Dad saying this accident was easily preventable. Definitely preventable, but not even preventable. It shouldn't have happened. If the person thinks they're handling a prop, a fake item, it should never have happened. It's an impossible thing to happen. The fact that it happened means sabotage and or they were handling real things and they should not have been handling a real item. And the staffing of that company should have not been using a real item. If you're going to use a real item in the movie industry, then hey, Krubby, you all should be trained like how I got trained, and everybody firearm trained and licensed. Whether or not it's real freedom seeds or not, you should have a firearm training. If you're not licensed to handle a firearm, even as an actor or a prop manager or whatever, then you should not be allowed to touch them. Point blank. I don't even know why they were touching them. There should be no active pin inside of it. It should be completely inoperable. It should just be an outer shell that looks like something and nothing, no mechanical anything inside of it to even do anything. That's my opinion. And that's what I expect when I hear the word prop. So something is going on that don't make no sense. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this happened. It won't stick. They already got him in civil court. I know the family was paid. Law is not emotional, but it is emotional because you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. That's how laws are drafted. You have to understand the facts of things and the outcome of things, and that requires emotion. It doesn't mean you're emotional, but you have emotions. You have empathy. You have understanding. You have wisdom. Those are all emotions. So I agree, but I disagree. Those are emotions. Those are skills. Those are soft skills that it's not means you're emotional and you're flaky, but those are emotions. And you need to judge matters according to knowledge, yes, but also to, what was the person's intent? And when you have to consider intent, you're putting yourself in someone's position. That's emotions. How many movies have been made using real foot? Right. If an actor's that's the point. If you're expected to handle real firearms, then the person who's handling them, even in an acting role, should know how to handle a real one. An actor was also the employee for that project. That's why they're going after. Yeah, I understand. But the employer is the actor, the employer. Oh, okay. Sorry. The actor was the employer. Okay, that makes sense, Gina. They were the employer. Because as I'm saying, where's the employer in all this? This is a very touchy and story, and we're gonna have to keep your eye on it and keep your eyes on the facts of the story and what happened. And be careful out there in these streets. That may not ever happen to us because we're not, in a movie set. But the fact, I hear a lot of you guys always say, when somebody tells you that something is empty or unloaded, check it for yourself. And that's why there's the acts and prove. You treat it like it's real and you treat it like it's loaded until you double check and triple check and make sure that it's okay, and then you treat it accordingly. Because this ain't, hey, Nikki, this ain't no joke. Now, the civil court, 93 Stang mentioned civil court. From what I saw, the family supports the charges. So I don't know how they and they should get some money. This is a horrible accident, and there should be some financial responsibility in some cases. Because even though, I don't know how to word this, but I'm not saying the the defendant is to blame, but there is some blame on the situation that happened that the employer, the company, the set has to take, and that they should get paid. Most definitely, there should be a payout. I don't know if that negated the fact of charges, and I don't think it negated the fact of charges. And they are supporting the charges, so they say. Okay, so I went a little longer than I planned to, but yeah, it seems like some kind of setup. Um, I'm telling you, why were there live seeds there? Why? And just for those of you, just be careful. Let this be a lesson to remind you, be careful, because this there's some things in life that you can't take back. And when you handle that's why I'm very, taking the course, really, I'm very careful, because you put it down like I put it down so gently that they think it's a newborn baby. Like, I'm just careful, because you make sure you point it in the direction down, downstream. I want to say, don't be pointing it and talking with your hand and pointing it around willy nilly. This ain't no joke. It's very dangerous. You know what you're doing. This ain't no joke thing. And this, unfortunately, if this was a person that had, in-depth training and was on autopilot, in my opinion, now this is not fact. If it was somebody who was, did a lot of firearms training, they would have probably, out of habit, treated it like it was real and live, and they probably would have just pointed it in the same, like it would have just been habit, even though they were told it was a prop. They would have said, okay, just out of habit, safe direction, boom, boom, boom. And it may have gone off, but it wouldn't have, been any loss of life. So let's just be careful, and let's watch the story. Let's watch this story, because I'm not sure if I think that that person's responsible for recklessness. I'm not even sure if they're responsible, if they themselves are responsible for the negligence. Now, if what Gina is saying is correct, if they're the employer, if you're charging him as an employer for the negligence, I agree with that. If you're charging him as his role as the actor or the employee, then no, I don't agree with that. Because regardless of who had it in their hand, I wouldn't hold them accountable. But the employer, yes, because you need to be making sure what's going on and what's happening. Now, that being said, am I holding them to task to know everything that's happening on the premises? Or is the responsibility solely on the prop manager who's actually handling it? So maybe the employer, in my opinion, should be responsible financially, but not legally, for the negligence or the recklessness. That, I think, should be the prop manager who handles the prop, who handles the freedom seeds, and should be knowing what's coming in and out. And the fact that there was real anything on there, there should be a financial liability for the employer. But I don't know the laws in I think it's New Mexico, and all the different, factors in it. But just by, just conjecture, this is just not legal advice. We're just talking about what's happening in the news, and figuring things out on our own. But this is not legal advice. This is just conjecture. I missed some of the chat. Exactly. It's still loaded until you check it yourself. Point blank, period. If someone tells you that it's inoperable, it's operable until you check, point blank, period. That's just the way you got to move going forward. As a director, he would have had to have known that there were live seeds. Maybe he should have known, but sometimes managers don't know what's going on, and someone, what's going on. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know what's going on. That's the point. And now when something goes left, oh, exactly. So, we're all keeping an eye on this story. Keep an eye on the story. That's all I gotta say. Keep an eye on the story. Try to see what any little tidbits that are offered. See if it goes to trial, or if it goes to the court system. I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is a very interesting, unfortunate situation, but a very interesting story, because I was very surprised to hear the charges, to be honest. So, Yeah, lives were destroyed for no, just, recklessness. He is also the director, however, others should. Yeah, I'm confused as to why the employer didn't file suit against the person responsible for the props. That not being done raises a lot of questions for me. And even what defines a prop, because a prop for me should be an inoperable. So Badass is saying that they use real firearms all the time. If that's the case, what's the protocol that's normally used? Because if I'm, maybe they're not pulling, I don't know, maybe there's no trick, I don't know, but for me, I don't feel comfortable handling something, and I'm not trained to handle it. And it's just, do you sign it out and put it back? Once you finish your scene, does somebody come and take it from you that's licensed? Like, I don't know, like, how close are they involved in monitoring and securing the firearms while you're doing movies? Do you only use it for the scene for 2 seconds and then right away, okay, let go, put it down, and then they lock it? Like, I don't know what's happening, but obviously it's a problem. Because if this happened, is it this particular employer, this particular site, or is it across the whole industry? Because I think I've heard of something like this happening before, but not lots of life, like just a misfiring, I guess you call it misfiring. But I don't recall hearing loss of life before in a movie. Um, but just, keep your eye on it. But thanks for coming in today. I appreciate you guys popping through. Remember to hit the likes up, thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. Um, check out for my new videos that will be coming out this week about hydroponics, gardening, and box, just different stuff. Just support the content and let me know how you like the editing. I'm putting in a lot of time, so please let me know. Yeah, that looks nice. Whatever, you could see the difference. Let me know. I'm gonna be on, yeah, next week. I'm here for sure. My schedule is clear. I'm gonna try to do more pop-ups in the week because I do see that some of y'all are available in the evenings, and I see some different faces, especially different time zones. So I will try to do more pop-ups in the evening. It's not always so easy because of my schedule, but I am trying. Thanks to all the members who are joining. I'm going to be dropping some of your videos for the members shout outs and putting you on the community tab as well. And look out for some members only content. I'm trying to do something for you guys. But definitely April will be something that's popping up for you guys. And make sure you join the Herb Garden Challenge that's starting February 1st with Planter Gardens TV's channel. We have to grow at least 5 herbs. If you want to get your feet wet and growing something that might be good, herbs seem to be pretty easy. If you still want to join the WIG hashtag WIG 2022, that's being hosted by GT Jr. and I guess Mike's Chaotic, that's going to end in March. You still have time to even drop some seeds now that can still benefit you. And it's about yourself. It's about winning, not about winning the content, but you winning individually. So yeah, subscribe, and share. I think most of you already subscribe. If you're in the chat, you have to be anyways. And I'll see you in the week. Sundays is my day off. I'm not really on the streets on Sundays, but Sunday evening maybe. So if you don't see me, that's why. I take a day off from social media. And be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And let's grow some food. Peace out.